Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel, the Cheryle Hubbard Show. Yes, just want to make sure I have my computer up where you YouTubers can hear me. So welcome back to my channel, the Cheryle Hubbard Show. This is Accounting for Real. So today, uh, just want to talk a little bit about business as usual. And I have a couple items that I want to share out the book. So first and foremost, my song in the background. It's a song I wrote, and I just be playing around with music in my little home studio, this is my little business room where I shoot all, some of my YouTube videos, and then some of them I may shoot in the living room. But I'm in the process, of just moving around in different rooms, and then when the weather warm up, I'll be outside, probably shooting videos too for my YouTube channel. But well, my degree is business, so my degree was business when I was at Straight University. That's why a lot of times, a lot of videos that I present on my, the Cheryle Hubbard Show, most of them will be talking about business or accounting, or running a business, starting a business, running a business, getting things off the ground. So basically, you're running a business, you have your business name, you have your business, you have your business name, you already have your target market, you have your niche, you have your niche, you have what type of product you want to sell according to the niche that you have. In other words, if I'm running a business, and I'm selling, hair products. Hair products, skin products. My niche may be sensitive skin, someone with alopecia, somebody with their hair falling out, things of that nature. So, in other words, you're running a business, you have your niche, you have your target market, you're building your brand, you have your, you prepared to market, advertise, and promote. You want to market, advertise, and promote on social media. Or are you going to, it would be a good idea, in other words, if you have a product and you could get them in the stores, like Target, Kmart, Walmart, Costco's, if you have a food product, or, I've been working on writing books and stuff, so I'm trying to see if I can get my books, the ones that I already have published, and they're already in the Google Play Store as ebooks, 3 of them, and then I have a 4th one that I'm about to put in a Google Play partner center, so it'll be presented on in the Google Play Store. So my next goal would be to try to get my books in Target, Walmart, Kmart, get them out in stores, because that would be another marketing strategy for me. So in other words, and then on my other videos I was talking about this product here. This my Lala. I always talk about this product here, Lala yogurt smoothie. So I know that I always purchase this either Saverlight, Giant, or Safeway. So I always said that this product is so good. So whether it's a food product or whether it's jeans, t-shirts, or whatever the case may be. No, so I would love to have me a food product or a drink, or I know Beverly, what's it? No, not Beverly. It's another lady. I forgot her name. But I know she used to have a talk show too. But she has the Skinny Girl. I think they are some cocktail drinks called Skinny Girl. So that's a nice that's a nice drink. A nice drink that you can have out there now. To have that in all different stores that's a good business strategy. So I know I always talk about when it comes to business, you can have a product, you can have a service, So it doesn't have to be t-shirts, jeans, socks, headbands. That's what I usually always talk about, things like that. But what's wrong with having a food product? Food product. You can have, in other words, and not only a food product, you can make your own. You make your own hair products. Say, for instance, you make your own hair products. You have, say, business. Business is very widespread. It's very widespread. There's so many avenues when it comes to business. You can run a personal business. You can have a face, what you call it? You can have a online presence, or you can have a storefront presence. You can market. If you can get your items in these big name brand retail stores, that's a good strategy. That's a good marketing strategy. As I said earlier in one of my previous videos, there's so many different channels that you have available out here today that you can market your products. You can market your products and your services. And I used to market ladies bags, ladies pocketbooks, ladies purses. So what I would do, I would just purchase the ladies bags and purses, and then you buy them at a certain price, you buy them wholesale, and then you sell them retail. So that's how I went with that. So then I always think about and always observe and think about all the other products and services that other business owners have. So sometimes you observe, you analyze, and you just think about, hey, you know what? Maybe I can do something like that too. Why can't I do something like that? Or sometimes you put two and two together and you say, yeah, sure, I can do that too. But I think in the beginning it's best to have a marketing plan, business plan. How many years do you expect to be in business? Where are you going to market a product, or are you going to market a service? Where are you going to market? How much money you plan on spending for that venture? In other words, if I want to start a business, say for instance, I want to create my own skincare line, hair care line, and I have to probably get a chemist or something to help me mix certain ingredients together. I had to do my research to find out what ingredients go in that particular product that I want to market. If I want to market, say for instance, my niche would be sensitive skin, and I want to create a sensitive skin care product, and I want to create a whole line, Cheryle skincare line, Cheryle skincare line LLC, or that's just something a name I threw out there. But my own skincare line, and my niche would be sensitive skin or hair care products. My niche may be alopecia, or somebody, their hair thinning out. So I need to have a chemist, or even do my own research and find out what ingredients that I can put together to create that, that skincare line or the hair care line for those sensitive scare. Sensitive care. Excuse me, for the sensitive for my customers that has customers that have sensitive skin or alopecia, the hair thinning out, the hair falling out. So business I think it's a good area, good field of study to be in. So I started working on various business ventures, some time ago. I said probably like maybe about 15 years ago. So, me and my husband, we started out with we had a men's line of suits, the jackets and the pants and the ties and the shirts. So we did market those suits, and you buy your your inventory, and then you create your customer list, your email list, and email list of all your customers, and then you work with that business. So we stopped that business, and then so I've been pretty much doing business ever since. I was doing this and I was doing that, men's suits, ladies pocketbooks, t-shirts, Nike t-shirts, Nike tennis shoes, jeans, scarves, headbands, and stuff like that. Even these even bundles. And then I was also making wigs from these bundles, right? Different bundles. So it was just so many different business ventures that I, have been a part of. But I'm still very interested in business, and just want to take it, take it on and move on and see where it leads me. So like I said, you running your business, you have everything you need, and then you have, say for instance, you have your business, you have your business name, your business license, your storefront, your online presence, your marketing channels that you're using, you have, in other words, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and also those are marketing strategies, and those, you marketing your products through those outlets, but those are not the only marketing channels that you can go through. As I said previously, you have your, if you can get them in these big box stores, these retail stores like Target, Kmart, Walmart, and even Costco's, depending on what your product is. So if you can get them in them stores, and then just say for instance, if I have, like I said, my skincare line, if I had my skincare line, my hair care line, and I had them in Target, Kmart, Walmart, and they are being sold worldwide, international and global, that would be a great marketing strategy. I was watching a commercial, I think a few weeks ago, and they had a lady on there. She has her, I think she just got her products in Target. So I forgot, I think it's called, I forgot the name of it. But I think it's some hair products, I believe, but I forgot the name. Next time I do a video, I'll see if I can bring that name up. But I would love to try her brand. So she said it was her stuff, her products are now in Target. And so Target, and then just imagine Target, international, Target everywhere, global, international. Imagine you have your stuff in Target and it's being sold in Europe, Africa, Asia, Canada, Target and Walmart, Costco, internationally and global. So that would be a great marketing strategy. So then another thing I want to touch base on today, say for instance you are running a business, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to have to deal with diversity. So today I just want to talk a little bit about diversity, and this book right here is Understanding and Managing Diversity. Understanding and Managing Diversity. Look, so it says, there is no universal agreement about what workplace diversity means. For the purposes of this text, we define diversity as the ways in which people differ that may affect their organizational experience in terms of performance, motivation, communication, and inclusion. So it means inclusion, to come together and be included together. So in other words, you're running a business, and you have your product, your services, you have your niche, you have your target market, you're building your brand, you have your online presence, your storefront presence, and then you have your managers. Your managers get things done through people. In other words, managers, you have somebody working in the accounting department, somebody working in sales department, somebody maybe working in somebody maybe, whatever department you have for your business. So you have all that, and then then you think about, can my employees work together? Can they work together in teams? So you might have a product team. You might have a new project team. You might have a new project team. You might have a product team, project team, or you might have teams. You might have different teams depending on your business. Whatever teams that you have set up, can these teams work together? Are these teams filled with diverse people? So in other words, working together. If you have teams set up in your corporation or your organization, depending on how big your company is. In other words, you have teams working together. Are they a diverse group? of people working in that team. In other words, are they diverse and can they get along? So, I mean, diversity brings different skills, different knowledge, different religions, and different ways of doing things. So that's what diversity is. All a part of, different cultures. You have different cultures in your organization. You may have Latinos, you have African Americans, you have Caucasians, you have Indians, depending on, who you have, who have you hired to work in your company. So diversity, working in diverse teams. So in other words, it says, define diversity as the ways in which people differ that may affect their organizational experience in terms of performance, motivation, communication, and inclusion. So these diverse team members, are they working together? When they work together, are they creating a great performance on the job? Are they motivated? Do they communicate with each other well? And are they including each other? And it says, for example, a white male worker may appear to lack diversity, but his health problems, religion, sexual orientation, and or age may be diversity issues for him. Sometimes people may have issues that they can't, work on a certain level as other workers can. And then it says, often in the workplace, people have salient differences that may be important to their organizational experiences. In other words, you have people that you hired, and they come to your organization with experiences that they have, encountered at other organizations that, that they worked at before they came to work for your company. So people come with different problems, different experiences, different skills, different knowledge. So it says, and then it says, in today's highly competitive global workplace, organizations must do all that they can to adapt their management policies and practices to the changing needs of the 21st century worker. Diversity is about business and the bottom line and about leveraging the skills and talents of all employees. It says to enable the organization to compete. It says diversity is not about reaching quotas and hiring unqualified minorities for the sake of having diversity. Yeah, don't just hire, in other words, don't just hire minorities just to say you have a balance in your organization. No, you do want to hire people. You want to be that employer that hires a diverse workforce because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. They were qualified. They were qualified, and it was the right thing to do. So then it says, workplace diversity can be a misunderstood and controversial subject. The United States was founded on the principle that all are created equal, but women and African Americans were excluded from this equality for many years. As articles in this text will substantiate, the workforce is becoming increasingly older, non-white, non-native born, non-Christian, and female. Some of the factors driving these changes include growth in non-white populations, immigration, more working parents, employees staying in the workplace past traditional retirement age, global business initiatives, the presence of multiple generations is organizations' more openness about one's sexual orientation. So in other words, you can't discriminate somebody's race, creed, color, or sexual orientation. So it's the right thing to do. If that person is qualified, then they are the most suited person for that position, then they should be hired. I never worked in the human resources department, or I never held that title job, where I was hiring employees, but I assume that, you hire the best person for the job. Sometimes certain jobs may require that you have a college degree, but some of them may not. So if that person is, a diverse, if that person comes from a diverse background or workforce, if they're coming in from that diverse workforce and coming into your company, and then they have, if you in the same message you require them to have a college degree and sometimes jobs, they want you to have a college degree, 4 years, and then they want you to have 2 or 3 years experience. It depends on, depending on the job. So I know then, you have to, you hire the best one suited for the job. So in other words, you can't discriminate, so diversity is something that, affects all of us, today. A diverse workforce affects all of us today. It says, although most people associate the origins of American workplace diversity with the passage of Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, the United States has always been a nation of immigrants with a mixture of ethnicities, races, and religions that have not always lived and worked together amicably. Yeah, see, people have to get, you're hoping that people get along when you hire a diverse workforce. When you hire a diverse, I would say a diverse set of people, group of people. If you hire a diverse group of people to work in your organization or your company, you're hoping that they'll get along, but I guess it takes observation. Say, to move an organization into the third and fourth stages of this value chain, where the different perspectives that diverse employees bring to decision making can become a competitive advantage. Managers need to create an inclusive working environment. Being inclusive means that diverse employees feel that they are vital contributors to the organizational mission, not marginalized or tolerated. Movement into this stage is crucial. And because until that happens, organizations cannot tap into the richness of a diverse workforce. Because so many organizations have not achieved this inclusive stage, it explains why it is so difficult to establish a business case for diversity. To prove or measure that diversity can be a competitive advantage that enhances the organization's bottom line. So in other words, diversity can be a competitive advantage that enhances the organization's bottom line. So in other words, you have a diverse set of a group of employees. That could be your competitive advantage because diversity. In other words, you have people working in your company, and say for instance they come from China, they come from Canada, they come from New Orleans, they come from Asia, they come from Europe. Yeah, I mean, you might have a diverse group of employees coming from all over the country. And then that, as the book is saying, that could be, I never even thought about this, that could be a competitive advantage. Because I always talk about competitive advantage when it comes to business. If that gives you that competitive advantage, because when those diverse employees, when they come and they work for you in your company, a lot of times they bring different skills. They bring top flight skills. They bring different knowledge, different experiences, different skills. And once you put all those skills together, then you have a competitive advantage over your competitors. You have something that your competitors do not offer. And that's what you want. You want a business that you want to hire employees that can help your business grow, not help your business fall. So if you are constantly practicing hiring a diverse group of employees, then that is giving you that competitive advantage. They come with skills, knowledge, experiences, different experiences. A lot of times you can learn. Employees can learn from each other. In other words, I would love to meet somebody I never even met anybody from Canada, or Europe, Africa, Asia. Just imagine if I was to meet somebody from, different, I'm open to meeting people that come from different cultures because I feel that you can learn. They can learn from you and you can learn from them. A lot of times some people anyway, leery about meeting and interacting with people of different cultures, but that's a learning process. Educational process, a learning process. So, let me move on. So as I said, this book is Understanding and Managing Diversity. So let me move on. While the equal employment laws and affirmative action initiatives of the 1960s were the catalyst for organizational change, legislation is simply not enough. Any company that systematically discriminates against a subset of the population pays a price in employee quality for hiring inferior candidates from the majority in preference to more talented minority candidates. Diverse workers are no longer willing to give up their social identities to assimilate into the workplace. See, diverse workers are no longer willing to give up their social identities to assimilate into the workplace. So they're not trying to, so in other words, they're coming from diverse backgrounds, diverse employees. They're not willing to give up their social identities to assimilate into the workplace. So in other words, I guess they figure if you don't accept me as I am, then I'm not willing to come and work for you. You know, accept me as I am, because I mean, I come with the skills, I come with the knowledge, but I might not be that. I might not have come from that diverse group of people, you know, that you felt that I should come from, but I still have the skills and the knowledge, but I might not be from that diverse group, the group that you were looking for. But I might be from that. I might, you know, have the skills and the knowledge and the experiences to get that job. So, prejudice, stereotypes, discrimination, and privilege. Prejudice, stereotypes, discrimination, and privilege are forces that work against diversity and inclusion. So a lot of times people are not included because sometimes they don't feel because of your, I wouldn't say race, but what I want to say is because of the diversity group, I guess. Because of the diversity group that you come from, they might not feel that you are qualified for the job, but you may be qualified just as well as anybody else. Prejudice is preconceived, evaluative attitudes about someone based on his or her group memberships. To illustrate these differences, we will follow the situation at Cheryle Industries. Okay, so diversity at Cheryle Industries. This is just an example of the book given. Keith starts to read email about the experience and qualifications of his new manager, Sage Wilson. As he reads on, Keith realizes that this new person is not a male as he expected. See what I'm saying? That's what I was just saying. He will have a female manager for the first time in his career because he thinks that men are logical and women are emotional. Even though he has never met Sage, he may find himself thinking negatively about her and that she will make business decisions based more on emotions than logic. So in other words, he was, this guy right here was named Keith. He was presented with a new manager, and before he even saw the manager, he thought it was going to be a male, but it was a female manager, and he felt that she was going to be making her decisions based on emotions because that's how women do, but that's how he felt women, you know, do. But, you know, she was qualified for the job. And it says he would have a female manager for the first time in his career because he thinks that men are logical and women are emotional. Even though he has never met Sage, he may find himself thinking negatively about her and that she would make business decisions based more on emotions than logic. So we have to stop, you know, assuming certain things about people that we don't even know. You know. Our prejudices can come from many sources, including our socialization as children, the media, our peers, etc. While prejudices can be positive, neutral, or negative, it is the negative ones that most often lead to the stereotypes that can be problematic in the workplace. And then it goes on to say, if a person is a member of a group that we identify with and in which membership is important to us, this is called an in-group membership. and there is a tendency to see other members of this group in a positive way. For example, a student athlete may find herself thinking positively about all student athletes because of their need to balance both academic and athletic responsibilities. However, a non-athlete, being an out-group member, may think negatively that all athletes are stupid and are not taking their education seriously. See, there's some, assumptions about people. Just because you are an athlete, you don't have a good academic balance. You're not thinking about making sure your academics are in order. Although the term stereotype is what I was saying. Although the term stereotype originally referred to an 18th century printing process used to make reproduction prints today, it means an overgeneralized belief that categorizes all members of a social identity group as typical of that group. Like prejudices, stereotypes are learned and not innate, and can be positive, neutral, as well as negative. However, negative stereotypes are more likely in groups with unbalanced representation of subgroups when there is a minority. The psychologist Gordon Allport wrote that the human mind must think with the aid of categories, which are the basis for normal prejudgment. We cannot possibly avoid this process. Orderly living depends on it. Okay, this is the second part of, then I was telling you about the gentleman named Keith, when he thought he was going to have a male manager. He had a female manager. And then he had certain assumptions, and certain presumptions about her. He thought that she was going to be thinking, because the figure women are, get so emotional. It says, when stage arrives, Keith also sees that she is an African American woman. He grew up in a diverse neighborhood, went to racially integrated schools, and has had African American teachers, friends, and college roommates. So Keith has a wide range of past experiences to draw upon when he thinks of Sage in terms of her race. Whatever her management style, Keith's wealth of experience in terms of race should give him a more accurate mental map of African Americans, which will help him not to stereotype Sage's actions as being typical or as having anything to do with her race. So now he found out that this new manager, first he found out that it was going to be a female. He thought it was going to be a male, and then he found out that she was African American, an African American female. So while stereotypes are mental processes, they can lead to discrimination, which is a behavior that occurs when members of a social identity group are treated unfairly or unequally because of their group memberships. Negative stereotypes can be particularly problematic in the workplace because they may influence important decisions, become the basis for discriminatory actions in hiring, promotions, performance, appraisals. If we acknowledge our prejudices, it can help us to avoid conscious or unconscious discriminatory actions. If we deny our prejudices, we are more apt to discriminate against people from a social identity group about which we have negative stereotypes, and to treat too well those belonging to groups we think positively about or identify with. So this was just an example out of the book, because this book right here is about diversity. So it's just, I'm not going to read all that about that. Then this chapter right here says, this chapter right here is on diversity. Diversity. Most Americans in the workplace experience people who are very different from themselves on a daily basis. Those differences certainly include temperament and personality, but also areas of diversity. Diversity such as cultural, gender, ethnic, religious, sexual orientation, ability, age, and size differences that are the subject of this book. Much is known about the kinds of differences people possess. Far too much knowledge for any individual person to know everything about diversity. What is needed is openness to differences and understanding that everyone's behavior is partially influenced by their diversity profiles. In the interest of being able to work with others and they with us, we must continually strive both to educate ourselves on what is known about how and why people are different and to keep an open mind. In other words, you're working around a diverse group of people. In other words, you're running a business, your business, or you running a business, you owning a business, you hiring a diverse, you hiring people from a diverse workforce, a diverse work group. You're hiring those people, or even if you don't own a business and you're not hiring, you're working around. You may be working for a company, and you might be around diversity. So learn to get along, learn from one another. They're bringing different skills as well as you, different knowledges. They come from different ethnic groups, different skills, different knowledge, different experiences. It's a learning process. The purpose of the game, diversity, is to teach some facts about many areas of diversity, plus provide information about the laws that govern the United States regarding these differences. This is just a game. I think they're trying to. Is in the book. It says the game tests current knowledge of many of the aforementioned areas because the game is played in teams. It will also enable students to get to know one another. In addition, diversity is intended to provide a window into enormous quantity of knowledge on differences among people. The authors hope that the diversity game will interest you in learning about diversity so that you will have an increased acceptance and understanding of people, especially in the workplace. The game has the serious intent of showing you both familiar and unfamiliar areas of knowledge. This game may give you ideas about where to focus your study during this course. So in other words, it's a game that, according to the author of this book, a diversity game they want to play. Let me see how they want to play this game. Okay, it says, in the game, they want you to choose a team of 4 or 5 people as directed by your instructor. Be sure to sit close together so that you can confer quietly. One team will randomly be chosen to select the first question, category, and level. All teams will debate their answers internally, and one team member will raise a hand or use his or her assigned team noisemaker when the team is ready to answer. The moderator, instructor, or helper will call on the first team to respond. Okay, in the event that no team answers the question correctly, the instructor will give the correct response. Practice questions at various levels. Discussion questions. Are there any diversity questions you would like to discuss further? What is one thing you learned as a result of this game that you did not know prior to playing it? In other words, they're playing, this would be good. A diversity game within your organization or in your class. That way you have some questions. Each member, they said you choose a team of 4 or 5 people. You have a team over here, 4 people, 5 people over here, 4, or how many people you want in that team. And then you have diversity in each team. And then, it's a good game to play. Then you ask questions. Each team asks questions. So what does diversity mean? Diversity refers to any mixture. Diversity refers to any mixture of items characterized by differences and similarities. So in other words, you have a team, you're working in teams, and a company that you work for, and you're working in teams, and you have a diverse team. You have all your team members, you're all from a diverse group of people. And then you're working together, you're learning from each other, you're asking questions. Diversity is not synonymous with differences, but encompasses differences and similarities because we are so accustomed to thinking of diversity in terms of workforce demographics and equating it with the minority constituencies in that workforce, we tend to think diversity means the qualities that are different. Therefore, even when people expand the concept of diversity to include the whole range of strategic issues, they still tend to focus on the differences. But the definition that is put forth here includes not only differences but also similarities. So in other words, you have a diverse group of people working in your, where you work at. You have a diverse group. You have a diverse group of people working in your organization. Working on, you may own a place and you may have hired a diverse group of, employees. But or you might just work for a company. But what the book is saying is, I always thought about diversity. I always thought of diversity as differences, but now the book is saying that when you think about diversity, you can also think about similarities. So you do have things that's similar. You can have differences and similarities. Uh, diversity refers to the collective mixture of differences and similarities along a given dimension. When you are dealing with diversity, you are focusing on a collective picture, not just pieces of it. To highlight this notion of mixture, visualize a jar of red jelly beans. Now imagine adding some green and purple jelly beans. Many would believe that the green and purple jelly beans represent diversity. I suggest that the diversity instead is represented by the resultant mixture of red, green, and purple jelly beans. So in other words, they say you have some jelly beans, you have some red jelly beans in a jar. You have some red jelly beans in a jar, then you say you have some red jelly beans, and then you add some purple jelly beans and some green jelly beans. And so you would think that the green and purple jelly beans would be diversity. Whereas you're creating a diverse group. So you already had red, then you add green and purple. So, but the book is saying, I suggest that the diversity instead is represented by the resultant mixture of red, green, and purple jelly beans. So in other words, if the red jelly beans, the book is saying the jelly beans are red, they already in the jar. But then you added the green and the purple. So we may think that, hey, since the red jelly beans were already in the jar, then the green and purple would be diversity. But no, the book is saying all three would be diversity. Because now the green and the purple, they are diverse as well as the red. So red, green, and purple, all three in the jar now become a diverse group. Because the green is not red, the red is not green, and the purple is not green, and the purple is not red. So all three of them now become a part of diversity. So that's what it's saying. So, when you think of it that way, because you figure, you know what, I'm the red jelly beans, I was already in the jar, but when they added two different colors, they become the diverse group. But no, all three. Now you have red, green, and purple. All three are from a diverse group. So that's the truth. Red, green, and purple. That's three different diverse groups. So sometimes when you read, you get a better understanding of things instead of going on assumptions all the time. So, mouth getting a little dry. And it says the component elements and diversity mixtures can vary, and so a discussion of diversity must specify the dimensions in question. And then it says the components of a diversity mixture can be people, concepts, concrete items, or abstractions. If you are reflecting on the many ways your employees can vary by race, gender, age, education, sexual orientation, geographic origin or employment, tenure, that's a mixture whose components are people. Individuals categorized along multiple dimensions. But consider your colleague who is struggling to create an environment where various functions, marketing, research, manufacturing, and finance can do their best work. In that mixture, the components are abstractions known as organizational units or functions. One may argue that functions are composed of individuals, which is true, but the general manager of multiple functions does not experience this as a mixture of people, but rather as a mixture of organizational units. So in other words, then they're going to say, talk about diversity management. So in other words, you running a business, you have to manage diversity. I guess that's kind of with running a business. Because you think about everything else with running a business, you have, like I said, you have your business name, your target market, you building your brand, you have your inventory, you have your accounting department, your marketing, advertising, and promoting, and you want to find out, do I want to do social media marketing, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or do I want to, and also do I want to have a marketing strategy where I can get all my products and I can, put all my products in Target, Walmart, Kmart, and then, basically you have everything you need running a business. You have your licenses, you have your storefront, you have your online presence, you have all that. But do you have a strategy? Do you have your strategy or the strategy or a strategy to deal with your diverse workplace environment? So you have to have that. You have a strategy, you have a marketing strategy, you have a production strategy, you have whatever kind of strategy you have in your business. You have all these strategies, but do you have a diverse workplace strategy so you can deal with that diverse group of employees that you hire? You have a strategy for that. So it says diversity management. The diversity management process is versatile enough to deal with any of these problems. It is also powerful enough to deal with more than one at the same time. Once you have mastered the use of this tool, you can quickly apply it to other situations. Get clear on the problem. What changes are occurring in the environment? What changes are occurring in the environment your company does business in, and how important are they? What do you need to do to succeed in your organizational mission, and what is interfering with you achieving your goals? And then also it says get clear on the problem, analyze the diversity mixture. The next step is to analyze the set of circumstances you are dealing with. Your goal is to be able to define the situation in terms of a diversity mixture. So in other words, you have a diverse group of employees, so you have to analyze the mixture of employees that you have working in your company. You have to analyze that and say, what are the elements of the mixture at hand? This probably is a new concept for you. For example, if your concern is a mixture of product lines, they may be similar or different in the mechanisms used to manufacture them, in distribution channels, and profitability ratios, in customer bases, and in development costs, and so on. Check for diversity tension. Ask yourself 2 questions. Am I seeing tension here as a result of this diversity mixture? It says, and if so, do I need to do anything about it? Diversity tension refers to the conflict, stress, and strain associated with the interactions of the elements of the mixture. Tension of some sort often accompanies a diversity mixture, but not always. When it is present, diversity tension is usually easy to spot. The real question is, does it require attention? Then you also have review action options. Your task at this point is to dispassionately review what is being done to address your primary problem and decide how well that approach is working. That's it for that. Then you have tolerate, build relationships, foster mutual adaptation. So you tolerate it, then you build relationships so those diverse groups within the organization can get along a little better. And like I read in the beginning of this chapter, you create a competitive advantage when you have a diverse group of employees working for your company. You create a competitive advantage, because competitive advantage is that's a good strategy to have. In other words, you have, as I was saying in my previous videos, I'm running a nail salon or hair, I'm marketing, maybe I'm marketing ponytails, bundles. So I want to maintain that competitive advantage. I want to make sure that employees have what they need at the same time, when they're working for my company. But at the same time, I want to be able to pull in those customers. I want to maintain that competitive advantage. I want to benchmark. I want to see what other companies are doing. So when I see what other companies are doing, I want to see what I can do that may be better than what they're doing, so I can, pull in more customers. I can keep my customers coming back. So that competitive advantage, that I never thought about that diverse. I never thought that a diverse workplace could create competitive advantage. But according to the book, see, I have to get back in my book sometime and refresh my memory. So they're creating a diverse workplace environment. They come in with different skills, different knowledge, different experiences. You may have somebody coming from Canada. Somebody may, well, not only that, they could be right here in the same state that that your company is in. They could be in that same state, but they could have come from college, and they could, maybe they have 10 years of working experience, and they know they come from another company. Maybe they was with this other company for 10, 15, 20 years, or even maybe 5 years, and they have that experience. So they're bringing that experience into your company, and then they're meeting up with these other team members that you already have in your company that's working, and then they all working together and building these teams, and then they're learning from each other. That diverse group of employees, they bringing these different skills, different knowledge, different experiences, learning from each other, and creating that competitive advantage for that, that particular company. It could be my company or any other company. So that was that. This is a good book to read. Just wanted to touch base on a few little items in here. You're understanding and managing diversity. So diversity, in other words, the book is saying, create that diverse workplace environment, and you create that competitive advantage as well. So who does not need that competitive advantage? That competitive advantage is very important. That keeps you on top. That keeps you up with your competitors. Like I said in my other videos, also technology trends. Keep up with the technology trends. What technology devices do you have in your company? You don't want to get behind and let your competitors have all the most up-to-date technology, in order to deal with their customers. You have to bring in that information, that vital and important information. That information, that vital, that important information that brings in experiences, bringing in knowledge. So it's a learning. You're creating a learning organization. That's one term I learned too at Australia University. You create a learning organization just as well when you build that diverse workplace environment. You create that learning organization because we all learn from each other. We're all coming into these workplace environments. We're bringing different skills, different knowledges, different experiences, different knowledge, different experiences, different skill sets. So we learn from each other. So this was a good book to get back on. I'll read some more on that. And then the next book I was going to read up on is this book is business communication skills for business and professions. Just one more thing I want to go over. So that's what that is. So just a couple little things I want to touch base because I don't want to go too far over an hour. So this is what we're doing, sometimes when we're working for certain companies and we still have to do we might have to do an oral presentation. So there's just a few little things. Just tell you, it says delivery of oral presentation. Sometimes you might have to do oral presentation. Sometimes some jobs have, you have meetings, you have you have company meetings and stuff like that. So sometimes you might have to do an oral presentation. So delivery of oral presentations, conveying your message with impact. Performance challenge, ways to control speaking anxiety. Some people get a little nervous when they're speaking. Conveying your credibility, specific delivery techniques, eye contact, gestures and movement, pronunciation, voice, verbalized pauses, emphasis, uh, performance challenge. That's the first one. The way it is, overcoming nervousness when speaking before groups. So you have a performance challenge, but you have to still get up there. But I know when I went to Strayer University, I used to be scared to get up there and do my presentations, but we still had to do it because that's how we got our grade. It was a learning experience. Then after the presentation, handling questions, promotion of listener participation, creation of your personal delivery style, um, memory devices, notes versus manuscripts, the language of feelings, don't tell jokes, use wit, understanding the basics, performing on a job. So in other words, it didn't tell you, it said ways to control anxiety. Here are several ways to reduce speaker anxiety or the number of specific factors that call for your attention to bring the presentation comfortably within your coping equation. Prepare your talk almost to the point of over preparation. So before I do my presentations, I always try to do a little research, write down, jot down, so a few little things. So, because when you're speaking, you want to look down a little bit, then you want to look up. You don't want to constantly bury your head in a book. So that's what I do when I do here. I kind of read a little bit here, but then I get an idea of what I want to say, then I may look up. So in other words, ways to control speaking anxiety. There is absolutely no substitute for adequate preparation. If you are well prepared, your capacity to cope with problems rise significantly. Nothing reduces anxiety like being well prepared to the point of being over prepared. Be idea conscious, not self-conscious. Oh, and also relax. Use your background and experience. So sometimes use your background and experiences. You can talk about your background and your experiences. So recognize that your listeners want you to succeed. Conveying of your credibility. So eye contact. In other words, when you're talking, you make a little eye contact with your audience. And then if you have to read, sometimes I have, they don't like you to just, read down on the paper, but sometimes you can, you jot down, you glance down at your paper, and sometimes you just look back up. So you want to look back up to get your audience eye contact. Then we have gestures and movement. Your sense of personal dynamism and self-confidence comes across via such body language as gestures, posture, and mannerisms. Gestures can be useful to punctuate what is being said. They should be spontaneous and natural. And then you got your voice. A clear, strong voice when you're talking. So you're looking down, you're reading, and sometimes you try to overnight if you go over your speech. I figure you do your little research. What I usually do, I do my research, and I, read up on it after I summarize it, then read it. That way, when I get ready to do my speech or my presentation, I have some of the things that I want to say in my memory because I already read my summary. But sometimes if I have to glance at my paper, I glance at my paper, but I can look back up because you know why? Because I already summarized my information when I did my research, and some of it is already still in my memory. And I can just look. Sometimes when I see one word, I can look up and give eye contact because my summary I read over it previously, and then I kind of know what to say. And then as the book was saying, speak on your experiences. We all been through something. We all have experiences. We all have a story to tell. Sometimes just speak off the top of your head from your own experiences. And that's what I do a lot of times when I'm doing my little YouTube, my little YouTube videos. See how I put the book down? Well, I just talk on my experiences. See, my experiences with business, my experiences with accounting, my experiences with different jobs that I've been on, my experiences in my neighborhood, I can just speak off the top of my head, just as anyone else could. We all been through something, so we all have something to talk about. And so then we have, I'm gonna wrap this up in a minute because it's an hour. Then we have, after the presentation, prepare to handle questions. Don't leave the question and answer sessions to chance. That's about it, I guess, for this. That's about it for this class, for this session. I don't know why I keep saying class, but as I was saying, business, you're running a business, and as I was reading in my book, gave me something to think about. When you're working for, or you're running a diverse workforce, creating that competitive advantage. That's another way to create that competitive advantage. Also, that competitive advantage. You want those competitive prices. You want those competitive prices. You want that. You want you want that convenient. You want convenience. You want that convenient place where your customers can purchase. You conveniently located online where they can reach you, they can order. You have a storefront. That's convenient. That's at a convenient location. Your prices. You have your strategies, your marketing strategy, your promotion strategy. So you advertise, marketing, and promoting your business. You have a strategy. You have an advertising strategy, a marketing strategy, a promoting strategy, product strategy, and as I was just reading up on, a diversity strategy. Your diversity strategy to maintain and build on that competitive advantage. You want to build that competitive advantage, and also you want to build your brand. Building that competitive advantage, you're building that diverse workforce. In so many ways, you can build that competitive advantage. You hire a diverse set of and a group of employees. Those employees are from a diverse background. You have whatever diversity groups you have. You have African Americans, you have Caucasians, Indians, you have different diverse groups. Whatever groups that you have, you hire them. They come in with different skills, different knowledge, different experiences. And then when you bring them together, you're creating a diverse workplace environment. You're creating a competitive advantage. And as well, lower your prices, have sales, have discounts. So in so many different ways, but I can talk about this for a long time. But I'm going to stop right here. I don't want to go too far over an hour because I don't want them to reject my video. So I want to say thanks, YouTubers, for joining me today. And I'm going to read a little bit more on this book on diversity. So create those diverse workplace environments. Lower those prices. Build on that brand. Build that brand. Build a strong, reliable, trustworthy brand. So, build a brand that employees can trust. Employees will definitely come back. So, like I said, when I went in the Subway sandwich shop one day, and I went in there, I think it was on my lunch break when I was taking classes. So when I went in there, and I always talk about this on my YouTube channel, the Cheryle Hubbard Show. So I was saying that when I went in there to get my sandwich, I was standing behind this gentleman, and he was very nice and polite. And the representative, the employee that waited on him, he ordered a sandwich, and she was wrapping it so good. And he was like, oh, he said, oh, you took your time, and I appreciate that. He said, you took your time, and I see that you wrapped it. You took your time, and you wrapped my sandwich so good. And she said, I want you to come back. That's why I do it. She said those are exact words. I do it because I want you to come back. And I was behind him, so when I got up after him, he walked on out and finished. And then I ordered my sandwich, and she treated me the same way. So, and that was a female, so it don't make no difference who you are. So that's what I'm saying. That diverse work group is very important. So she, just like I was reading that example in the book where the guy said he was expecting a new manager. He thought it was going to be a male, but it was a female, and it turned out to be an African American female. So he automatically thought that she was going to make decisions on emotion. But that was an example. I read the book. But I'm not going to talk too much longer. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for listening. And I promise to bring you great videos. I want to enlighten you, encourage you, inspire you. And I want to encourage you, enlighten you, inspire you, and help you, make better decisions, help you do better. So making those decisions, that is what managers do. Bringing that information, making those information systems, that's how they make their decisions. Information, knowledge and information is powerful. So all I want to say today, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time on the Cheryle Hubbard Show. Same place, same time, same channel. Comment below. Give me some ideas, some things, topics you might want me to talk about. I don't mind doing research because I'm learning just as well as you. We're all learning, so it's a learning process out here in the world. And learning never stops. Learning goes on forever. Learning never stops. We can learn from each other. I hope you're learning from me. I want to learn from you. So if you have any ideas, any topics, comment below, subscribe. And I think I have just, about 80. I should have 90 videos. Should be about 90 videos now that I have. So I'm just, non-stop. It's all about the knowledge and all about the information that I'm trying to provide. So I'm trying to give different, different knowledge, different information, not different knowledge, but, different information, but, can create different knowledge. So thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you back here again, the Cheryle Hubbard Show. So you all have a good one.